Okay, I want to practice something right quick. I just came up with a really good idea. My hair's messed up because I was at the gym, so I feel all right with that. Check this out. This is what my speech is going to be, all right? All right, before we get started, I need everyone to do something real quick. Look at the person next to you and give them a high five. Go ahead. Don't leave anybody hanging. And then everybody's going to high five each other, and they're going to be feeling happy because it's magical. Watch this. The energy says pause for the energy to build, smile as the crowd high fives. Because it's fun to high five somebody. You know it's fun to high five somebody. You know it is. If you don't know, high five somebody right now. If you're near them, high five them and tell me that didn't make you feel better. And check this out. Here's the secret code. If you don't have nobody near you and it's just you, you're going to think I'm crazy. Watch this. High five yourself. Just high five yourself a good one. See how I missed the first one, but the second one I got better? If you do that and you get a good one, that feels good. Even if it's just you, it made me feel better because I high five me and maybe I'm crazy, but that's good, right? So you got to high five somebody and it changes your brain chemistry. And that's what this is going to be about. So I haven't read this yet because I just told it what to write over about 5 different, it was some different questions. I was talking to Brimo and we were talking, and then every time we would make a point, I would ask it the question, boom, talk about this. Now weave this together. First we were talking about I told him that I wanted to talk about my next time I talk, I want to tell people to high five themselves. And I told him that it changes your brain chemistry. And then I looked up, does it really change your brain chemistry? Is that scientifically true? And it said, yeah, it's true. Stanford did a study. Really, they did. And it changes your serotonin. And I don't know what this is going to talk about, but I just read all about it. And then he said, you should do the raise your hand up and then raise your hand up as high as you can. And then you do this and they say, now put it up a little bit higher. And then you reach a little bit higher. And then the message in that is you should have raised up your hand all the highest that you could the first time when they said, raise it as high as you can. You feel me? So and then I said, I think that the brain, the brain chemistry changing from a high five is more or less known than the raise your hand. I think more people have heard about raise your hand, raise it up a little higher. So if you do that, especially in a room with intelligent people, they've already heard that before, I think. But I don't think they know that if you high five somebody, that it changes your brain chemistry. I don't think everybody knows that. I think that's less well known. So that's what we were talking about. And then I said, help me make a speech using the high five as an intro to get people excited. And then we talked about that. And I asked which is more well known. And it said that the hands, people have heard of that more. And then it said, do you want to maybe try to weave the two together to create the speech? And I said, that's a good idea. So now this is what we're about to read for the first time, okay? That's a good background story right there. That's important to have. Okay, it goes like this. All right, we already got this. Boom, now we get the high five. I do the high five, right? All right, before we get started, I need everybody to do something real quick. Look at the person next to you and give them a high five. Go ahead, don't leave nobody hanging. Boom. Bam, see, it wasn't good. And if you're high-fiving somebody else, here's another tip. If you look at the elbow, it's always perfect. Almost always. It's really a good high five. And a good high five really feels good. It does, and it's different. One that misses and one that doesn't miss, that's a good one. I don't know if you can hear the difference in the noise, but that was a good one. That was a good one. That was a good one too. That one wasn't as good. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but if you high five somebody, sometimes they're good and sometimes they're not. And it's better when they're good. It really is. You think I'm crazy, but this is a true story. Okay, so you high five the person next to you, okay? How does that feel? Pretty good, right? Well, let me tell you something. What you just did wasn't fun. It actually changed your brain chemistry. Science proves that a simple high five releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone, which makes you feel more connected. It also triggers dopamine and endorphins, the same chemicals that make you feel excited and motivated. That means just 1 second with one simple action, you just made yourself and someone else feel better, more engaged, more ready to win. Now let's try something else. Raise your hand as high as you can. They raise their hand, raise it a little bit higher. Interesting, right? Why didn't you raise it that high the first time? You thought you were giving it your best effort, but when you pushed just a little bit more, you found more. That was we do in life. More, that's what we do in life. Now my brain is saying, now I got to talk about how Art Williams said, just do it, and ask them, what did he say? And then what do you got to do? And Noah will love that part. That's what we do in life. We stop short of our full potential, not because we can't do more, but because we don't even realize there's more to give. And then you pause and look around the room. Now let me ask you a question. Which of these two things have you heard before? The raise your hand lesson, or the fact that high fives literally change your brain chemistry? Raise your hand if you've heard the raise your hand one before. Now raise your hand if you ever heard the science behind the the high fives one today. See, most of us have heard the hand raising story, but not the high five science. And that's exactly the point. There are powerful truths all around us that we've never even tapped into. Simple things that can change the way we feel, the way we perform, and the way we connect. But we don't know them because we never looked at them. My challenge for you today is simple. Start looking, start asking, start pushing yourself beyond what you think you know, because if something as small as high fives can change your brain, imagine what's possible when you really go all in. Pause to let that sink in and transition into the next part of your talk. That's a good enough talk right there. I don't need no more. I think that's it. That's 2 minutes. That's probably more time than I'll get, but that's good. Maybe I'll get 3 minutes. But someday at the convention, I'm going to get a couple minutes. That's going to happen. I will do that. So now watch this. Add in a part about Art Williams and his just do it speech, and make the people ask the question. And then what do you got to do? You just do it. And then what do you do after that? You just do it. And then what about after that? You just do it. You just do it, and you just do it, and you just do it. High fives. Here we go. Raise your hand. Why didn't you raise it as high as you can? Which have you heard before? Brain chemistry. My challenge is today, start looking, start asking, start pushing yourself beyond what you think you know. Because if something as simple as high five can change your brain, imagine what's possible when you really go all in. But let me tell you something else. Knowing the truth is great. Understanding science is great. Having a vision is great. But none of it matters if you don't take action. And nobody explained this better than Art Williams in his famous Just Do It speech. Because at the end of the day, what do you have to do? Point to the audience. You just do it. And then what do you do after that? You just do it. And then what? You just do it. You just do it, and you just do it, and you just do it, and you just do it. You don't wait until you feel ready. You don't wait until the timing is perfect. You don't wait for permission. You just do it. And if you keep doing it, you keep showing up, you keep pushing yourself past your limits, keep high-fiving the people around you and pushing them forward. Before you know it, you're living at a level you didn't even think was possible. So today, make the decision. Don't just listen. Don't just nod your head. Don't just feel inspired. Do something. High five someone. Push yourself a little further. And then what do? You just do it. How about that? You think that was good?